Previously on Footpeg Diaries. Honda South Africa gave us two Transalp 750s to play with.
Why don't we build two different types of bikes now?
See that? How difficult can it be? Cheers.
Cheers.
On two different bikes from one platform.
In this episode, we take our newly kitted Transalps for a shakedown, with some of our Facebook friends joining the ride.
What's the use of customizing adventure bikes if you can't test them? Today is a Friday. We're leaving on a bushveld, sandy, rocky ride. We're not saying that we're going to have a lovely adventure weekend. We're just saying we're testing. It's work. Ready for our test. That's what we call it.
Yes.
We'll call it a test. It's actually an excuse to take everyone on a hell of a nice weekend.
Yeah.
Sounds good, no? Let's do it.
Obviously, we first have to get away from civilization. So we pick up our skirts and dash out of town, with even more friends joining the pack as we go along.
Some bad times, lived through some sad times. This time you're in typical Footpeg fashion, we couldn't pass one of our old haunts without stopping for a milkshake.
And a couple of minutes later, we find a lovely dirt stretch heading roughly in the right direction. Ending up in the town of Waterberg, greeted by cows, cops and catering.
One thing about the bushveld is the heat. It's noisy in the shade. Maybe we should check. Check the usual suspects. Hello! The usual suspects. His wife is go along as well, just to keep him, you know.
Looking for with the locals isn't a good idea in this area.
Yo! Well done, bro. This is Wildlife Ranches South Africa, the banner says. They're having a potjiekos day here at the bar. And here we are. WRSA, Wildlife Ranches South Africa, and
There is a Waterberg.
Waterberg. We're going to check out the potjies.
Anki's busy here. She's the defending champion.
A curry impala with dumplings.
Curry Impala.
Yes.
Last year you said that you did something special.
A crocodile. Crocodile tail.
Ek dink ons gaan moet proe, né?
This pot it's tinfoil. They're making tinfoil. It's an aluminium smelter. Chicken? Ah, with cabbage. And this is a?
This is oxtail.
Oxtail also.
It's exactly the same as the other one.
It's the same pot. How do you know this is oxtail?
Ons is slim ons cover op.
Covered with cabbage. It's a new French way of making potjiekos. Only burn as much as you need. Go. So what's this one?
This is a lamb and warthog.
Lamb and warthog.
Yeah.
There's a certain je ne sais quoi to it too.
It's gonna be delicious.
Lamb and warthog. Lekker. What's in there, Amelia?
Skaapskentels.
Lamb.
Ja.
I like meat that's not overcooked, but that you can pull apart.
And in the spur of the moment, we get pulled into the competition as the impartial out-of-town judges. Fani handles the logistics and I take care of the tasting.
But there's nothing in your plate. Just look at this. Look at that.
It pulls apart like the drive shaft of a 1200. Judge assistant.
It's amazing.
Is die bakkie langsom iets aan?
Warm hem op. Warm hem op.
Ryk hoe lank daai bakkies daar?
One of the best sweet wines in South Africa at this stage. Fruity, not heavy.
Ek het dit raai in. Worries.
It's a different approach to the rest. Fonnie is on compassionate leave.
This one has dried apricots in it.
If you're an adventure rider of my age, it keeps you regular. This one I have to serve myself because both my assistants have left me. Pap, if you're from Europe, this is what we eat in South Africa. That was what gives us the tombo. Pap. The vegetables are firmer.
All of this tasting eventually ends in a prize-giving ceremony, and we also get a little token of appreciation.
This is what happens in plattelandse communities. People tend to bring their communities together. The people bring the people together. That's what South Africa should be. Shouldn't we all play a part in doing that?
What a lekker impromptu pit stop. Luckily, our camping spot is just a short sprint away. We're just in time for a quick swim before we welcome the rest of our riding buddies arriving for the weekend.
Those bikes haven't seen sand yet. They came on a trailer.
We're still waiting for a couple of people. Yeah, they're arriving little by little.
There's tents popping up all
Yeah,
over
yeah,
the camp. I did a site inspection. I walked around.
Yeah.
And there's a lot of oaks here with new gear that they've never used before. I saw a guy use instructions to put up a stretcher.
On arrival here, before we even anyone's even signed an indemnity form, they haven't arrived yet. They're on their way. We had a bit of a broken ankle already.
So unfortunately, one of the riders is in hospital in Tabazimbi.
In Tabazimbi in hospital now. Yeah.
A little bit of a sandy patch, a little bit of a oopsie. Yeah, that's unfortunately,
That's sad.
it's part of the game.
But, yeah, it is what it is, you know what I mean? So we have a team that took him to the hospital and he's being attended to.
Kom ons gaan steek 'n vuur.
Let's go stick vuur.
Lekker braai.
What better way to spend a lovely bushveld evening than staring at the fire? And with good people and lovely conversation.
Making fuel for the food. Coals for the fire.
And of course, what would any bushveld camp be without a proper braai?
Tonight is the actual official unveiling of the 200 Transalp.
And if you watched last night's episode, you know that there's like two variations, adventure dirt bike, and then there's the variation for a tourer. If you haven't seen it, here it is now. We'll do the tourer first. What we do first?
Yeah, die ding is mos nou kwaad.
Okay, we do the quad one first, right? Hey, 1, 2, 3, go! That's that one. This one is the Adventure Tourer, which is most of us would probably do this rather. And this one has the livery of the 1998 Transalp, the 600. It's got that as well. We did graphics on this. This one is also the old Honda livery, more the Dakar kind of style livery. If you would like to ride them this weekend, you can't. Yes. Unfortunately, there's too much sand. So yeah, these are the bikes. If you want to check them out, if you want to feel them up, you're welcome. Just buy them a drink and they'll be easy.
Everybody had an opportunity to check out the bikes and ask about the cosmetics, mechanics, performance and ergonomics before we sat down for a hearty dinner and the all-important route briefing for the next day's riding.
We only have one medic. And then I'm going to say something else again. We only have one backup vehicle. We have 2 routes. I can load 2 bikes on the backup vehicle.
No, one.
Well, I'm not loading them because I'm not following the backup vehicle. You have to make the choice now. If you want to take the red route tomorrow, you need to know how to do field repairs. You need to know how to change your own tire. And you need to know how to get your bike back to civilization.
Okay, so now that all of you are going with me,
Your group got much bigger.
unfortunately there's no escaping the fact that there is sand around in this area.
It's the Waterberg. You either have extremely rocky sections and you go, I hate the rocks, and then all of a sudden you're in the sand. And you go, I hate the sand.
The green route, we will do 50-50 gravel and tar.
You'll see lots of game tomorrow, especially in the green route as well. Be on the lookout for lots of game. It's a lacquer game drive. Please be on the lookout for warthogs. If you strike a warthog, it's like striking a wall. They don't run parallel with the road. Well, for a while, there they go.
Across the road.
Always. The red route for tomorrow is not 210, it is 270.
80.
90.
80.
Do I have 300? KTM start in a campsite, 4:30. Again 5:30, and then 5:45, and then 6 o'clock. They keep starting the bloody things, all right? Because they figure out, does it start? Tomorrow is going to be very hot. It's going to be, they say 33, but the ambient will probably be something like 36, 38. So it's going to be very hot, and struggling in the sun with a bike, and you're picking up at the 4th time. You're going to get exhausted. Please stay hydrated.
So for the rest of the evening, we stood around the campfire and mainly focused on hydration.
Some of the Oaks went back to the local pub to do a bit of the Rugby World Cup.
Some of them came back rather late and basically drove over my tent and thought it was a hell of a joke.
There was a KTM that started at
5 a.m. and there was another one at 5:20. Thank you though for the KTMs showing us the sunrise.
I can't wait to
See the
faces
smiles,
tonight.
and just see them explode with pride.
Yeah.
I can't wait to push that Transalp through the sand.
Yeah.
I can't wait to do that. Not push.
Waking up to a very lekker shower. That was
Morning. I didn't have it all.
The guys that are staying in the lodge facility, the option that stayed in a luxury lodge, we're waiting for them because apparently it's tough getting up from Linden. Yeah. All of us that are camping, we're on time.
There's a buzz, eh? When you do the green route or the red route.
You're not doing a red route. Don't even try. Tire pressures, riding style,
Suspensions.
suspension settings, traction control, ABS.
Yeah.
All those questions.
Yes.
And flying around like bricks at a protest meeting.
Eventually, everyone was ready, and we headed out to fill our bikes and our stomachs. And straight off the bat, the early morning bushveld sand took no prisoners.
So Evie, he went to the bar immediately, but after peeling his rim back. This is a brand new rim protector. Even if it's just a couple of mils, it did move slightly. It looks better already, man. Breakfast of champions. Strawberry.
After filling up the bikes, the green route headed out into the mountains of the southern Waterberg without really knowing what to expect. The Red Route riders were nailing it on the first high-speed section towards the Marikele National Park. The slightly sandy conditions are made much easier if you keep your speed close to the triple digits.
Why not a road bike? I mean, you were a road bike guy for a while.
Started like that,
And then?
quickly got boring. I mean, you don't want to ride and then everything is under like controlled environment. You go off-road, anything can happen.
Yeah.
You have less traction and all those things, so it's not a controlled environment. So you're always on the alert mode, and that's nice. I've tried both, and I got bored to death with road. Gravel all the way.
Why do you think are we struggling to get young people to ride adventure bikes?
Still riding to look all fancy.
Yeah.
Until the bite gets them and they ride to satisfy themselves, then they'll start moving. And it's about other people. How do I look? How do they see me? You know, it's not about how am I feeling inside? How does it make me feel? Until it gets there, we'll wait for them. But this was one opportunity that I couldn't let go. You know, I couldn't just pass by. I don't know. Besides the fact that you always come up with the most craziest routes ever. So yeah, that's one thing I was looking forward to. You always manage to hoy that surprise thing into the route. So yeah, as much as you're gonna say this is gonna be easy or it's gonna be tough, but we always keep it in our head that he's not telling the truth. Or we'll say it when he can.
I'm not telling the truth.
No.
Okay, I'll remember that one.
Some of the riders on the green route were also beginning to suspect that Fani was lying about the sand the previous evening.
Lekker Mandy. Lekker bra.
But there's no turning back now. So, into the sandy foothills of the Waterberg they go. Bikes started toppling over thick and fast. Fani just couldn't understand why this was happening. After all, it's not that much sand if you ride it with a quad. And at the Green Routes refreshment stop, the Footpeg team's honesty was once again questioned.
How's it going so far?
I think you lied.
Oh, you think I lied?
It was tough.
Was there a little bit of sand?
The whole place is sand. What are you talking about little?
There's a little spoorkie in the middle of the sand where there's no sand. That's where you must be, in that little spoorkie.
You think, okay, I've got this now, I want to set on this more solid
Yes.
sand or ground or whatever,
Yeah.
and then it changes and then and then it's some plat, and then you start snaking, and then
gravel road and there's rocks and
We've got another 170 kilometers to go to lunch.
Yeah.
There's a little bit of sand.
A little bit.
like this end.
Like the little bit of sand that we had now.
As die groot manne, they have to ride my bike through that sand.
No. I like the little dust makeup thingy that you got going here. It's very nice. Jacques, this is your first time on a big adventure bike.
Nerve-wracking.
Nice introduction, huh? Yeah.
Oh, my nerves are shot.
Okay, so now we've had something like a sugar. No brandewijn yet. Brandewijn's at lunch, okay? This was actually orange. Then the tar road back is the green. But now they're here. They're here, they can't go anywhere now.
And back on the red route, I was enjoying the new smaller front sprocket that we installed on my Transalp, giving it some extra dirt bike-like torque in the lower rev range. This section of the red route was a highway-like chase along deep sandy stretches towards the fence line of the Marekele National Park. The aim of today's red route is to circumnavigate the Marekele Reserve's towering peaks, staying as close to the fence line as possible. The best way of traveling these wide sandy roads, especially if you have your wife on board merrily chatting away over the comset, is to keep it pinned, floating the bike over the ridges and washouts. A great test for the progressive suspension we fitted on both Transalps. A test that both bikes were passing with flying colours.
You know, usually being an instructor for ADA and everything, so you're always working. So it's just a bit different to relax for a day, and it's a red route for our people today, but for me it's a nice normal route.
Wat God.
Join us for our next episode when the tracks become more treacherous. And we end the day's riding with an entertaining finds meeting.